Hello, this is Troy Espy, your instructor for Library Resources 101, and this is the lecture for April 30th, 2020. I just want to apologize in advance. A couple of my comments are a bit outdated. However, I don't think they'll cause you any problems on the quiz. So let's say you're writing a research paper and your topic is deer hunting in Wisconsin. In particular, you're wondering if antlerless hunts help control the overall deer population. Basically, if the state encourages hunters to kill does and fawns, does that keep the deer herd down? And let's say you've searched for about an hour and you've found one good article, and this is it. And it's a good source, it's right on your topic, but the problem is you need at least 5 more sources for your research paper. So crank up the coffee pot, it looks like it's going to be a long night. But maybe not, because if you can find one good article on your topic, that article can lead to dozens, hundreds, and believe it or not, sometimes thousands of sources on your topic. And that's what we're going to explore during this lecture, how to find additional sources starting with just one good article. When you found a good article on your topic, you always want to check the citations at the end of the article. Sometimes that section is called references or works cited or bibliography. In this article, it's called literature cited. Sometimes it's even called footnotes, but you always want to check that section. That's just a really good habit to get into. And this is a case in point. This article has 52 citations. That's 52 potential additional sources. So you might be able to find all the sources you need for a research paper just in this one bibliography. So when you go to the bibliography or the reference section of an article, you can browse through the citations to find other sources relevant to your topic. If you find a citation on your topic, you now have the skills to track down the source. You've learned those skills in this class. So let's say you wanted this first article here. It's titled White-tailed Deer Harvest from the Chronic Wasting Disease Eradication Zone in South Central Wisconsin. From the citation, you know it was published in the Wildlife Society Bulletin in the year 2006 in volume 34, starting on page 725. So let's find that article using the UWSP library. To hunt down citations, most of the time you can use Search at UW. In this case, we could paste the article title in Search at UW and see if the full text is available. However, sometimes Search at UW misses articles, and also, Search at UW doesn't show you print articles. So we might have an article in print on the second floor, but you wouldn't find it in Search at UW simply by searching by the article title. If you want to be really thorough, use Journals A to Z, which we learned about in the April 16th lecture. I'm going to click on Journals A to Z now. For our citation from the deer hunting article, we're looking for the journal Wildlife Society Bulletin. So I'm going to type that title into the search box and click search. And you'll see that the UWSP library does own Wildlife Society Bulletin online. So I'm going to click on online access and take a closer look. And you'll also see that we carry Wildlife Society Bulletin in 4 different databases. Now, lucky for us, the article was published in 2006. So it should be available in any of these databases. If the article was published in 2007, it wouldn't be in any of these databases. However, we could request a copy through interlibrary loan. Now, I don't really care which database I get the article from, so I'm just going to pick this first one here, Bio1. So I'm going to click on that now. So now we are in the database Bio1. Here is the journal Wildlife Society Bulletin, and here is the list of issues. Our article was published in 2006 in volume 34. However, we don't know the issue number, but we do know the page number. So sometimes you have to guess, or you have to try several different issues. I checked earlier, and our article appears in issue 3. So I'm going to click on issue 3 from October 2006. Now our article starts on page 725. You'll see here the first article starts on 561. So I'm going to scroll down to 725. And there is our article, Whitetail Deer Harvest from the Chronic Wasting Disease Eradication Zone in South Central Wisconsin. And down below is the full text or the PDF. I always prefer the PDF, so I'm just going to open that. And there is the full text of that article. So I browsed the bibliography of our one good article. I then tracked down a citation using journals A to Z. So as a refresher, if you find a source on your topic, always check the bibliography. That bibliography is just hand feeding you additional sources on your topic and can save you a lot of time. Let's go back to the bibliography of that first deer hunting article. And let's say we wanted to find another source listed in the bibliography. Let's say we wanted to find this source, Prey of Wolves in the Great Lakes region. Now that's not actually an article. It's actually a book chapter that was published in the book called Recovery of Gray Wolves in the Great Lakes region of the United States. That's okay, because we like book chapters, because we don't have the time to read a whole book for one source for one research assignment anyway. Plus, we know how to find books using Search at UW. So let's go look for this book right now. Let's use Search at UW to see if the library owns this book. So in the Search at UW search box, I'm going to paste the title of the book and click the search icon. And the top result is the book we're looking for, Recovery of Gray Wolves in the Great Lakes regions of the United States. However, we don't want to read the whole book. We're looking for one specific chapter, and I want to make sure that that chapter is in this book. So what I'm going to do is click on the title of the book, and then I'm going to scroll down to Details. And under Details, there is a section called Content Summary. And you'll see in Content Summary that the chapter we're looking for from the citation is in here, Prey of Wolves in the Great Lakes region. So it does have the chapter we want. Now, to get this book, we have to write down the call number. Okay, and that is this weird alphanumeric symbol here. Okay, that is how you find the book in the UWSP library. Now, to find a book in the UWSP library, you want to pay attention to the call number's first two letters. That will tell you where the book is located in the library. Here's kind of the decoder key here. If the call number starts with A through PQ, the book is on the 4th floor. If the call number starts with PR through Z, the book is on the 5th floor. So that is how you would find the book. So you could go up to, our book starts with QL, so it is on the 5th floor. So we could go up to the 5th floor, get this book, take it to the main desk, and check it out with our point card. And we would get it for 28 days. And that's what I'll have you do for the homework assignment. I will give you a citation of a book chapter. Then I want you to find the book in Search at UW and give me the call number. Now, if the book wasn't available in the UWSP library, we could get it from another UW campus and have it sent here in 2 to 3 days through UW Request. And then, if no UW system library owned the book, we could still get the book using interlibrary loan. You can use Journals A to Z and Search at UW to track down sources from citations. Google Scholar is another method for finding sources from citations. In fact, I use it all the time. Plus, you can link Google Scholar to the UWSP library. Campus computers already should be linked. However, there is a handout in D2L that shows you how to connect your home computer, and I highly recommend you do it. In fact, you'll need to do it for the homework assignment. So let's track down a citation using Google Scholar. I'm going to paste a citation from our original deer hunting bibliography. It's an article titled Effort and the Functional Response of Deer Hunters. So I pasted the title in there, and I'm going to click on search. And not surprisingly, Google Scholar finds it right away. And you'll notice in the right column, the PDF of the article is available right there. So pretty easy. In fact, I'm always surprised how many PDFs are in Google Scholar, especially if you link Google Scholar to the UWSP library. Now, occasionally, Google Scholar won't have a PDF of an article you want. But if you link Google Scholar to the UWSP library, you should see the Find It button, which we also learned about in the April 16th lecture. So I'm going to click on the Find It button. And then what Find It is going to do is going to look for the full text of that article in the UWSP library's 200 databases. And you'll see we do have the full text of this article available in the UWSP library. If I scroll down, you'll see that it's available in 2 different databases. Now, if the full text of the article wasn't available, I could request a copy via interlibrary loan. The link is right there. So I'm just going to click on this first database. And there it is. There's the article, Effort and the Functional Response of Deer Hunters. And there is the PDF, which I've downloaded. So, pretty importantly, by linking Google Scholar to the UWSP library, it allows you to find full-text scholarly articles quickly and for free. So if you don't like messing with Search at UW or the library's 200 databases, Google Scholar is a convenient alternative. I want to go back to our original deer hunting article. Now that article was published in 2010, so it's 8 years old, and Wisconsin deer hunting has changed considerably in those 8 years. Plus, every single citation in the bibliography is going to be even older than that. So now we're talking really old. But what if I want newer sources on my topic? Well, Google Scholar can lead you to those newer sources. I'll show you. So what I'm going to do is paste the title of our original deer hunting article into Google Scholar and click on search. And there it is. And then you're going to notice over in the right column there's a PDF and the Find It button. So far so good. It gets a little bit better. Google Scholar will generate the citation for you. It's this quotation symbol right here, and if you click it, it actually generates a citation in different writing styles. So then you can copy and paste the citation into your bibliography. And for your homework assignment, I will ask you to paste a citation from Google Scholar. However, I want to focus on the cited by link. This deer hunting article has been cited by 22 other sources, and every single one of those sources is newer than 2010. Let's look. So I'm going to click on Cited By, and it lists the 22 sources that have cited this original deer hunting article. And if I look at the different dates, you're going to see that they're all newer than 2010. 2012, 2014, 2011, 2014, etc., etc., etc. 2016 down here. So they're all newer. And then plus you're going to notice in the right column that the sources either have the PDF or the Find It button, or sometimes both. So let's say that you wanted this article. Can managers compensate for coyote predation of white-tailed deer? Well, the PDF isn't available, but here's the Find It button. So I'm going to click on the Find It button. And find it is going to tell me that the full text of this article is available in the UWSP library database. So I'm going to click on the database where it's available, and there is the article, and I can download the PDF just like that. So when you're using Google Scholar, don't overlook the cited by link. It will lead you to newer sources on your topic. Search at UW recently added a cited by tool as well, and I really like it. It works similarly to Google Scholar, but the cited by icon can be easy to overlook. So let me demonstrate. So I'm going to enter the title of the original deer hunting story in Search at UW and click search. And there it is. And then over here on the right, you're going to notice some orange arrows. Okay, and if I hover over these orange arrows, it says find sources citing this. So let's give it a try. So when I click on that icon, Search at UW retrieves 18 sources that have cited the original article. And they're all newer than the original 2010 article, just like in Google Scholar. So you'll see 2014, 2014, 2016, etc. And remember, all articles in Search at UW are full text. So we can access any of these articles for free. And you'll notice many have the download PDF link right there. If they don't have that download PDF link, you can still get the full text. It takes a few more clicks. So let's say that we wanted this one. We go ahead and click on Online Access. Search at UW then is going to take us to the View It screen. The View It screen is going to list the different databases that have the full text of that article. So I'm just going to click on this database since there's only one. And there's the article, and down here is the PDF. So that's a new feature in Search at UW, and it's a tool I plan to use a lot. Just to recap, if you find one good scholarly article on your topic, these resources will help you find additional sources on that same topic. You now have the skills to find dozens, hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of additional sources, all stemming from that original one good article. A little bit shorter lecture and a little bit shorter quiz this time. I'm sure you have final projects in other classes, so I'm trying not to overburden you. Plus, I've just been impressed with this class. I want to thank you for all your effort, and I hope the hard work has been paying off in other classes by making it easier to find credible sources for research assignments. Thank you for listening to the lecture, and as always, please contact me if you have any questions.